Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pure Live. It is Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. I am excited about our guests for today. I'm excited with a lot of the guests we have, right? We got good people, don't we? For those of you that have watched us before, you know how we start this. So we're going to get on these sponsors first before we get into the guests and what we're talking about for today. So here we go. Yes, and I've told you guys so many times before, when it comes to them, they are a wonderful organization. I have been a part of them for a couple years now. Oh, it's been a couple years now. So yes, it is a great organization to be a part of. You want to network, you want to learn how to take your stuff to the next level. You definitely want to be a part of that. And now for my newest sponsor, Motives Cosmetics. And I'm wearing them now. Here we go. Yes, honey. All right. And for those of you that don't know, you can go to my website. You can click at the top. You'll see Motives Cosmetics, and you'll get special discount through me. You're welcome. Also, I'm wearing the blue blockers from Bella Eyewear. You can go to my website and get those as well. Also got those cool shades, as you see. Go to my website. You'll see a Bella Eye Care, and you'll get 30% off. You click on that link. You're welcome. Now, I'm going to play the trailer for the play that we are going to be talking about today, that I have been blessed to be a part of. So pay attention.
Man, look at this house. Look just like ours and everything. This is the year 1807. That means we really did fall in the picture.
See, black people started slavery. Whites advanced it. We are all the continued story of our ancestors.
Gracie, ain't that cute? Growing up overnight. Do that walk again for me.
Or we'll die, give up everything just to be able to vote. Sound like a bunch of lazy cowards living in 2020.
You're not gonna protect your daughter? Man, I'll tell you how human trafficking is in 2020, and you call us cowards?
Ours was born in pain, not love.
Instead of you, white people steal millions of us from our land without fighting back.
The day you born, you look like your parents. The day you die, you look like your decisions.
You see, here in 1800s, we enslaved physically. But in 2020, y'all enslaved mentally.
All right, yes, honey. So, without further ado, please welcome our special guest, Richard Gallion.
What's going on, Asia?
Hey, thank you so much for joining us today.
Nah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, it is perfectly okay and welcomed to ask questions and leave comments as we go on in this conversation. All right. So, sir, first of all, wow. I'm excited about the whole production and everything. It sounds real deep, but I don't want to get into all of that yet. We're going to start from the very beginning of you first.
Okay.
So let's start with you introducing yourself.
My name is Richard Gallion. I'm a writer, producer, director, as well as an actor. And I've been doing productions now for about 10 years. And I mean, at this point, this is not just a career, but this is my passion and it's my life.
Yeah.
I pretty much base my entire life around the existence of performing arts.
Wow. So you do nothing at all.
I do a lot.
You said, I'm not going to stick to just one thing. I'm doing everything.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm trying to get my hand. I'm not trying. I'm getting my hands in everything. We're talking about real estate, trucking companies, government contracts and schools and productions and everything. Getting my hands in everything.
Okay. You'll never be bored. Let's talk about where you come from. Where are you from, sir?
Born and raised here in Chicago. I originally come from the west side of Chicago, from K-Town. Then I moved to the north side, which is in Uptown, and it's been a roller coaster, man. Just being able to witness both parts of that city, and even now, currently living on the south side, but just surviving the trauma and the things that you see in these impoverished communities. It's been a blessing to make it out and do what I'm doing now. But I did not think I would have been a writer or dealing with anything with performing arts. I never would have thought that that's something I'd be doing. If it was up to me, I would have been an NBA basketball player right now on my way to retirement.
Yeah.
Started off in sports, just football, basketball, boxing. Then I ended up taking basketball the most serious and got a free education. Played NCAA Division I basketball, traveled the world, and now I'm here.
Excellent. That's okay. Hello, welcome.
What's going on, Elijah?
So started off in sports, and that was your plan. So how did you even get into it? It is my understanding from what it is that I read that you started off modeling.
Yeah, so I was doing modeling for a while. This clothing company by the name of Fess Up, they had me just taking pictures in some of their T-shirts, and it wasn't nothing major. It became a pretty big thing when I was walking downtown on my way to play basketball. Actually, it was in a summertime shot, walking past the Ebony and Jet building, and I got approached by some people that actually worked for the Ebony Fashion Fair tour. So,
Okay.
one thing led to me conversing with them, and about a year later, I found myself on a tour, traveling the world with them, being one of the two male models. Just a
Just two of
9 month
y'all.
tour. Yeah, it was just two male models and 11 female models. I would have thought that they would have had more male models, but I mean, I guess it wasn't bad. But yeah, I ended up touring the world, and it was a great experience. But from there, once I left that tour, is when I got into acting.
And how did that come about exactly? How you go from modeling to acting?
Well, first of all, I was never a fan of modeling. Like I did not like it at all. I felt no, because I always felt weird. Like, okay, so I walked the runway, and people just look at you, and you got to walk with sexy eyes and smile and pose, and then walk. Kind of weird. Then I didn't like the let's just say, like, I'm a manly man, 100%, straight man, and I didn't like the things that in that industry per se. So I just kind of, when I found out that I can act, I completely left modeling right away. Like,
Okay.
let me get away from this. But yeah, I was just with a friend at a rehearsal for a stage play, and they asked me to read. I didn't want to read at first, of course, because I wasn't an actor. But then I'm just sitting there bored. I'm watching them have fun, and I'm like, man, if they ask me again, I'm gonna do it. And sure enough, like 2 minutes later, they asked me if I, mind reading again, and I just went on and did it. And this thing called the bug when you in acting, and I got bit by that acting bug, and they offered me the role, and that was it. I haven't looked back since.
Wow. So, what kind of things have you been acting in? Were you doing just plays? Did you do some films? What were you doing?
Yeah, so right, of course, I love theater. Theater has been my start. Theater is something that I will always do. But I have been in shows like Shameless, Chicago PD, Transformers 4, the movie Black Coffee, Empire, nice amount of film. And I do appreciate the film. And I what I love about the film is that when you're on TV, when you're on national television, doing what you love to do, it creates, I guess, a certain level of celebrity, if that's what you want to call it. So I would use the film to help create the buzz and the name. But because I was always a visual writer, with me writing and being able to produce my own productions, that's where I get much, much, much more pleasure, and being able to do my own and not wait for someone to hire me, but being able to put myself in a position for one to be hired, to create my own work, as well as hire other people.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That makes sense. Do you have a preference between theater and film?
Believe it or not, I love theater more. Reason is, like, even if you look at your greats like Denzel Washington, Viola Davis, and James Earl Jones, these greats, they still do theater. And I was listening to Denzel one time say, hey, he loved film, because that's what got him his celebrity and his money. But he's a theater junkie, and he will forever do theater. And I feel the exact same way. I will forever do theater. And you have a lot of actors, once they transition to film, although the acting is different from theater and film, because film is more intimate, acting is a little bigger. But once a lot of actors made that transition to film from theater, they didn't want to do theater again. But my thing is, theater is your best practice. And when you're not doing theater and when you're not going to the rehearsals, because a lot of people hate the word commitment, they don't want to commit to so many rehearsals. And then two, people don't like going to rehearsals. And they say in theater it's not as much money. I don't do it for the money. It's just the passion. I chase the passion in it. And I love everything about theater. I love the rehearsals. I love the live audience. I love the interaction. Like I absolutely love that. And being able to do theater, it has really helped my acting chops. So why would I turn my back on the same thing that prepared me for the film? I would never turn my back on theater. But it's something that I'll forever do, because even if you're not in rehearsal, what are you doing with your life as an actor? They can't say that they're working on their craft because most of them don't.
Oh, no?
Nah. Nah.
Okay, I can respect that. So you said that you like being able to create your own things.
Mm-hmm.
So were you creating plays first? Were you targeting film? What were you getting into when you decided to do things on your own?
Yeah, it was all theater first. Well, it was all theater because I saw how it was ran, and I saw the light at the end of the tunnel when it came to theater. So I started.
What does that mean? Light at the end of the tunnel.
So I saw the success and what can happen with theater.
Okay.
Most people don't get it. Most people don't see it. They think it's a waste of time. But nah, if you don't educate yourself to it, then of course you would think it's a waste of time. But I educated myself and I was able to see like, okay, this can really make a lot of noise and this can really do some things. And live theater will forever exist. It's hard to get from that, you know. Don't get me wrong, they're making this a virtual world, if that's appropriate to say, with the meta stuff and all this. Like they're making everything virtual, but nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, can beat that live theater feel with the audience and all of that. It's just it's a different thing.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I enjoy a good play.
Absolutely.
Feels good to experience that. So, do you remember your first play?
Yeah. Actually, so my very first play was this play called Consequences.
Oh, okay.
And I just wished my very first director, his name Kareem Thomas, I just wished him a happy birthday not too long ago. So that was just funny. Like it reminded me of the very first production I've done.
Yeah.
Yeah, Consequences.
Did you enjoy it?
I did. It was an experience, and I enjoy all experiences. Good or bad, I always find the lesson in everything. But it was a really, really, really good experience. And again, it helped me realize that this is something that I'm passionate about. So I appreciate it alone just because of that.
Speaking of lessons, what kind of lessons did you learn in dealing with your first productions?
Ooh, I learned I couldn't act right away.
Okay.
I mean, I was horrible. And this how you know you really can't act for real per se. It's if you're dark skinned, tall, nice body, and they always just say, hey, just make sure you stay in shape, and you know, because you have to wear a tank top or take your shirt off. It's like, am I here for acting or to show what I've been working on? Like, but
you just want to see body. Just
that's it. Yeah, don't say much. I'm not gonna give you much to say. Just show up and smile. Like, dang, okay.
Oh no.
But no, I've learned a lot. I've learned the art of acting, and I've learned how to develop characters. I've learned that I do not like a lot of urban theater. And I mean it in a good way as well as a bad way. Like so the good way is that I feel like because I realized where the gap was at, and where there was a lot of resistance, by me being able to study and really being a workaholic and a perfectionist, I feel like I've been able to change people's mindsets about a lot of the urban theater that they once upon a time saw. But what I don't like is that you have a lot of people that's doing theater that's working outside of their anointing. And what I mean by that is you may have someone that's anointed with getting the audience, like they can promote, they know how to talk, they know how to engage and get people in tune to the productions. And they will be able to do that, but they also, and I'm not saying people can't do it, but you know what you're gifted at. They are not gifted at putting a production together when it comes to directing it, writing it, and you know what I mean? Like the creation in its entirety. Like me, I know I'm not the best when it comes to marketing. Like I can market, but not like that. I wouldn't go out and tell someone I'm a marketer and try to market material for them. No, I wouldn't do that because that's not my anointing. Now, do I have a grace for it? Absolutely. But when it comes to putting a production together, I feel like that's what I'm anointed for. Like I can write the heck out of a production. I can do them things, but yeah, it's just a lot of people operate outside of what they gifted for. I'm sorry, let me plug this computer up real quick. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. Sure, we can wait for you to plug it. And again, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to ask questions, comment. I know we asked him a lot of questions already. He flowing. You probably listening like, okay. But I want to hear you guys as well. And you can continue to ask questions and leave statements after the show, but we prefer it during the show. But yes. All right. Excellent. So I completely understand what you're saying. That's actually how I feel about music, but that's another topic in itself.
Yeah, it's like what you gifted at, man. And if people will come together, that like just realizing what they're anointed for, come together with no egos, man. As a culture, as an urban culture, we can do a lot when it comes to theater. Like we can do a whole lot. But again, people just completely work outside of where they're gifted at and where they're anointed at. And they try to do it all just to say they did it. And it sabotages the industry, you know?
Very good point. Very good point. I completely agree with you. Completely. So, and moving forward. So, have you done any movies on your own?
Not movies yet. I've done the pilot episode to my TV series. It's called Desperate, which is available right now on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Check it out. Yeah, it's a 50-minute episode.
That's what I'll be watching after the show.
Okay, check it out. Let me know what you think.
Will do.
It's a 50-minute episode, and that's the first one that I did film-wise. But I have written movies that I'm yet to produce and put it out there.
Okay. You plan on continuing Desperate?
Absolutely, yeah. I have 7 or 8 episodes ready.
Okay.
And they're pretty good, yeah.
All right. Do everything. I got you. I hear you. I see you. You got a question. What was your favorite role and what was your most challenging role?
My favorite role that you talking about in just film or theater? Or both?
I would assume he meant in general.
In general? I would say my favorite role so far has been my character David on Desperate. I think that was my favorite role because that role was very relatable, and that role is David is a familiar character to a lot of African American men, such as because I was able to be a voice for us and do it in a way to where it's not weak, it's not degrading, it's not it's just not how people outside of our culture try to portray or tell our story. I think that was one of my favorite roles.
Okay. Most
And
challenging?
my most challenging role, I would say, is my role Congo in 1800s versus 2020. My
Okay.
most challenging role. And the reason why it's my most challenging is because tapping into this character and knowing how our ancestors lived, it's a challenge to accept that, to know that, and then to embody that, and work on so many different layers with their character. It's a lot of layers to cover, and I can't play it, short. I just have to go full out for the character in every aspect, and it's a lot of layers to that character. So it's that's been my most challenging.
Oh, just makes me look more forward to it. So you guys go ahead and gather your questions and your comments. We're going to take a small break. And we're going to show you guys, again, a brief trailer talking about the information for this play that we're going to get into. And then we're going to play the game, Find the Fake. Y'all know what's up. All right, here we go. And for those of you that are watching via YouTube, this is what I'd like you to do. Subscribe. Thank you. And if you are watching via Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, I think I've covered them all. Follow me. I got a lot of goodies for you. All right, we're going to take this break. We'll be back in a moment. Rogers, and I'm a singer, songwriter, choreographer, voice actor, and I'm the creator and talk show host of Pure Live. Pure is an acronym for perfectly undefined raw elegance. So naturally, we want our content to be pure, raw, and elegant. It airs live every Friday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube and Facebook. And if you'd like to see all of the episodes, you can reach it at asiajamal.com, ASIAJAMAL.com. Or if you'd like to be on the show, you can reach me at asia@asiajamal.com. Hope to see you soon. All right, and before we get into the game, for those of you that might have missed the first half, I'm gonna go ahead and play this trailer for you so you get that information. Do you have your pen and paper ready? I hope you have your pen and paper ready. No, we're gonna keep giving information to the show. But here we go.
What if the slaves from the 1800s could talk to the people of today?
Well, we'll die and give up everything just to be able to vote.
Richard Gallion Entertainment presents 1800s versus 2020. This must-see educational and thought-provoking show answers that very question.
The day you're born, you look like your parents. The day you die, you look like your decisions.
1800s versus 2020 is coming this February to the APC Theater. For tickets and more information, visit richardgallion.com.
All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do right now is we're going to play the game, Find the Fake. Here are the rules of the game. You are going to look at all the statements and figure out which one is the fake. If you get the answer right first, then you win a prize. So we're going to run it one good time now, and then we'll run it again later on. So we're not going to give away the answer just yet, but pay attention. Here we go. Yeah. You actually gave some good ones because a lot of the times my guests give away some of these answers through the interview, and you haven't talked about any of that stuff. So
I
you
wanted to
try
make
to
sure.
guess. All right. Okay. So we talked about the beginning. We talked about what got you into all of this stuff. Now I want to lead into what got you to, I want to say, your movement that you're doing right now. Because it's not like you just started this play, this production. So why don't you tell us about what this is about? What got you going on this?
On this production in particular,
Yes.
well, it was birthed from a series that I'm working on called the What If series. And the question that came to me was, what if the slaves from the 1800s were to have a conversation with the people today in 2020 and see how we're living and see the things we take for granted, the things that they died for. So what I started doing was writing it because it was just a series and it was going to be like a 30-minute series. But when I started writing it and I started writing different dialogue and an exchange, one thing led to another. Next thing you know, I look up, I'm at like 60 pages. And I went back, I'm like, let me just go on and make this a whole production and go from there. Then I even wrote it into a movie as well, which is ready to be filmed and ready to go. But yeah, it just came from my series that I'm writing called the What If series.
Okay.
And yeah, just a bunch of what ifs. I hope that nobody steal my concept.
It is. Don't be taking stuff. Don't steal. Okay. So that's how it started off.
Yeah.
So I'm obviously late to the game. I'm a newbie to the whole thing. So I'm wondering, when I came to that first rehearsal, you were talking about this whole movement involving schools.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain that to us a bit, please?
Yeah. So in February of 2020, I was running this show, and when we had a successful run, we had different schools coming in for field trips. It was just a great run. And then when we were planning more dates, the pandemic came out of nowhere, stopped everything. It shut everything down. So when a pandemic came, I had to pivot because, again, for the last 10 plus years, I've been doing productions, on my own, and I've been doing at least 3 to 4 productions a year. So I pivoted into, because I had this recorded, I say, well, I don't have to stop with the schools because schools are still going on. It's just they're virtual. So let me give them a virtual experience theater-wise. And not just that, because I used to work in CPS, I understand the need. The need is SEL, social emotional learning. All my productions deal with social emotional learning. So I say, well, my productions are clean. They deal with social emotional learning. It's informal. It's educational. It makes you think. We got great reviews from the students that came to see the show in person when we were running it in 2020. I said, well, let me get an activity guide created to where we will have this entire show based around questionnaires and challenging questions and thought-provoking stuff. And from there, I got it together. We started reaching out to different schools all over the world. Right now, my biggest support comes from California and New York. My biggest support system for the virtual theater. We've been reaching out to them. I have it on my website, richardgallion.com/field trips. And they've been booking the virtual stage play, the virtual theater. So it's been a
So
great thing.
how exactly does that work?
So they go to the website, they take a look at the link. The link has the reviews, it has the activity guide, it has the breakdown of social SEL. Then there's the reservation form that they will have to fill out. Once they fill out the reservation form, I have a drop down box because I understand like there's this thing with actors to where it's hard for actors to do to have a job and still do what they love to do, which is act. But by them working with me, this is a way that can put some extra money in some of these actors' pockets because I do allow people to get paid from that. So each school that they call and get on board and get booked, you know, they get a payment from that. And again, the school is unlimited because you have hundreds and thousands of schools in America. Mm-hmm. And even if we can book 1,000 schools, like that's a great thing.
It is. It is very amazing. And especially since there's this battle in the education system right now about what we can and cannot educate the children about.
Oh man, don't even get me started.
Yeah, I'm already hot about it myself. For those of you that follow me on LinkedIn and those of you that are subscribed to my newsletter, you know what's up because I put out an article already. I'm giving you full-blown education. Yes, I am. And I think this is really perfect for Black History Month. I see all of these dates. Was that intentional or just happened to fall in February?
No, it was intentional.
Okay. Yeah, it fits. It makes sense. It definitely makes sense. And you guys, again, I have to remind myself that I don't have to take care of the whole conversation. You guys feel free to ask questions and comment. Go ahead. But moving forward. So what exactly were you envisioning people grasping from this particular production? What message are you trying to put out there?
Well, for one, I wanted them to see how far we've come just as a people, as a whole. And not only how far we've come, but also how dumb we've become.
Okay.
Because what happened, slavery shifted from physical to mental. And people are mentally enslaved now. Back then, slaves, like it was against the law for them to read, to write, and they were sneaking and doing it. Mm-hmm. They wanted to do it so badly, but today you can't pay people to even pick up a book.
I know, right?
Do not want to read. Back then, they would have loved to be able to vote. Today, I think we had 29% of African Americans went to the voting polls to actually go vote. You know, and then they say that the black vote is not counting when that's not a lie. Just we need to learn how to vote. Like I think the Constitution test and all that should not happen in 8th grade. I think it should happen senior year in high school when you're closer to the age when you can vote. By the time you get out of 8th grade and you go into high school, you're still not able to vote. All that stuff goes out the back of your head, and then you vote wrong. There's a lot of people that do not know how to vote. Like they think it's all about the executive branch, when it's not. That's not the focus. You know, we need to know who's in these seats, making these laws, and they can sit in there. They vote every 2 years. They can sit in there for as long as they want, and don't know who they voting for real. They don't vote over there. They just say the president. No, you have to start looking at Congress. You have to start looking over there. You know, the judicial branch, and that's what you need to start paying attention to. But I just want people to just wake up and see, like, hey, we have the power in our hands to do things different and to make a change, you know, and don't think because all the negative stuff that's happening in this world, don't think just because it's not happening to you that you're not affected by it. You are. And that's how it was back then in slavery. It really wasn't a lot of people that was pro-slavery. It was a small percent, but it was a lot of people who just felt like, hey, as long as I'm not bothered by it, I don't care. You know, and they're just as guilty by being quiet. So people today just as guilty by being quiet and not trying to provoke some type of change. You know, so I just want them to see, like, man, that the conversation gets extremely deep. And I'm trying to talk around it so I don't give too much, but they get extremely deep. And these are real facts. Real facts. So I just want to educate people on things that I feel like is necessary, and things that can help change the trajectory. Like that's my goal with this production.
That's great. I hope more people get on the bandwagon for that, because we can't let our history get lost because people are trying to bury it.
Not bury it. I don't think I don't think it'll ever get lost.
No.
The reality is unconfronted history tends to repeat itself. So it won't get lost, it will repeat itself.
Yeah, they're trying to act like it didn't happen.
That's and right now, slavery is not about a race or culture. It's about gender and age, because it's called human trafficking, and that's what they're doing now. So I think people really need to wake up.
You preaching now. You preaching. Yeah, you are absolutely right. And really, that's part of why I even had this platform to begin with. I started this, at the beginning of the pandemic. Well, yeah, at the beginning of the pandemic, because of what my children were watching. I'm like, okay, so the internet, that's the thing. They're not even watching TV. It's YouTube all day.
Yeah.
YouTube and TikTok. So I'm like, okay, well, I need to give them something better, something that can educate them, something that can introduce them to something new and positive. So you're doing exactly that, which I think is so cool that you created the virtual option for these schools. That is awesome. I never even imagined that being a thing.
Yeah.
But God gave it to you.
Yeah.
So, do you plan on just running this this month, or what do you plan on doing next?
So, of course, after this run, I'm definitely going to focus on the virtual field trips.
Okay.
But the next stop for 1800s verse 2020 will be in Atlanta, and I'm looking to take it there the month of June, which is Juneteenth month.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of African Americans and people period that just really support the arts in Atlanta, especially when it's giving history and historic facts and educating. But then not only that, again, it's Juneteenth month, and that's when people really, really, really support. So Atlanta is the next stop.
Okay, Atlanta.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I know I got people in Atlanta, so pay attention. Pay attention. In fact, let me make sure that you guys know this website right here. Go ahead, write it down. I'll wait. Okay, not too long. I'll write it down. Go ahead and subscribe to his newsletter so you can follow him. I know I got you guys all over the country and all over the world, but go ahead and write this down. Follow him on his social media as well. Take a moment, write it down. I'm not going to keep it up all day, but go ahead, write it down, and make sure you reach out. And again, sign up for that newsletter. He said he puts out information through those newsletters, you guys.
Absolutely. I put out a lot of information, keep people updated with what's going on, what's coming next, as well as auditions. A lot of people ask me how could they audition for the productions. Definitely by subscribing to the newsletter.
Okay. I've never auditioned for a play before, for any production, actually.
Oh, no?
I have not.
Okay.
I think I've been a little slightly spoiled a little bit because of my family. So it's just like, yeah, no, you come on. We already know what you can do. Let's go. Let's do this. So that would be an interesting experience to audition. I know you're listening, Elijah. You know what I'm talking about. I think people just curious, like, your last name what? Let's see what you can do. And then we go up there and embarrass ourselves. Okay. So before we get to the end part, I wanted to run this one more time so you guys can see the game. if you guys end up guessing or you contact me later, then you can win a ticket. Correct?
That's right. You went
All
into
right.
this
Okay. See, I have to double check, make sure we're on the same page.
yeah.
I don't want to say it, and he's like, what you talking about? But all right, here we go. I'm going to rerun that Find the Fake for you. Let me see your answers. So first, I'd like to say, when I saw these statements, I had no idea what the fake would be. It's like, well, I know he got some kids. I don't know how many kids he got. Does he work out 7 days a week? I don't know. Some people do that. I'm not really sure. Okay, the guess. So I see a guess of B. So
What was B?
he said, "What was B?" Oh, I have to replay it for you too.
I'm sorry.
He wasn't paying attention. You see what happens? Okay, I'll play one more time. Okay, here we go.
Elijah, I'm curious as to what made you select B.
Okay, Elijah, answer that before he answers.
What you trying to
Let's
say?
do
bro?
that. What you trying to say? He's like, you trying to clown? Okay, I'll let Elijah respond before I let you respond. How about we do that? Okay. I didn't even think about it like that. What you saying? I don't know. I know I clearly don't work out 7 days a week. I'm just saying. That is not my testimony.
Because he has time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. That's what he said. You do apparently, because you work out almost that much time. Almost. Not quite. So
Yeah,
right?
B is correct. I work out 5 days a week.
Oh, okay.
Everyone always think I work out every day. They think I do not eat any sugar whatsoever. I used to eat 5 days a week too.
Whatever. You went to the gym on Saturday too. Like, don't, bruh. Anyway,
Maybe
go
because
ahead.
they during the week. That's why.
No. He definitely work out during the week. But yeah, I hear you. So they think you just on that super diet and super workout and all of that.
Man, and not knowing banana pudding and cheesecake. Oh my God. Absolute weakness.
Aren't those just a blessing in the storm sometimes?
Right.
I love me some good homemade banana pudding.
Oh my God.
Now I'm hungry. Okay. Moving on. Now I think I got some banana pudding too. Okay, anyway. What I would like to know is for other young men and women that are looking at you and looking at your story, what kind of words of encouragement would you give them?
Just chase your passion. Like, that's it. Chase your passion. There's a lot of people that they get discouraged because of other people's story. Even if it's something that they're passionate about, they let other people's story become their reality. and you cannot allow that. So just chase your passion. If you're just motivated to do acting or directing, I would tell you second guess and see if that's what you really want to do. But if you're passionate about it and it's a burning desire, if money wasn't an issue, if this is something you would do for the rest of your life, I would definitely say just chase the passion, because those things that the motivated people chase, which is the money, the opportunity, the fame, all that stuff will end up chasing you as you chase your passion. So chase the passion.
Oh, good points. Good points. And you said something very powerful there. You said if money was not an issue, you keep. I know some people are just like, oh, but the money.
Yeah, you can't think about that.
Yeah.
Because if money leads you, you're in trouble.
Facts. I'm halfway guilty. Halfway guilty. I got a nice job, good money, but I am passionate about the arts. I'm passionate about music. Like I said in my trailer, I've been doing voice acting. I have so many different voices. I have on this series that I was doing the voice acting on. I lost count on how many different characters I play.
I can imagine. That stuff can come natural sometimes, just doing different stuff and mocking and
yeah, I fooled my own dad. He didn't recognize my voice. So that's horrible. You raised me. You didn't recognize it. I figured there would be some kind of undertone, but that just says I did it well enough that I fooled the ones that I love, right?
Yeah.
So, what is the best way for people to stay engaged and in touch with what it is that you're doing?
Just follow me on my social media tags, as well as subscribe to my website. Social media tags, there you go, right there. And it's just my name, Richard Gallion.
Yeah, that's an interesting name. I think that's like a celebrity name. That just sounds like a celebrity. Yes, that's a celebrity name.
Yeah,
I've called it into existence. Yes, I have. All right.
And
here's the website again, you guys. Go onto that website and subscribe. I did. So follow suit, subscribe. Now getting towards that end, I want to show you guys these dates. Here are the dates here that we have so far for the play. Yes, and I am a part of the production, a little small portion of it. So this is great. It was waiting for me to say it. Yes, I've been blessed to be allowed to be a part of this production. It's beautiful. It's exciting. It's a lot of passion. I am excited about seeing the whole thing coming to fruition. It is great. I love it, you guys. And you guys know I'm not about to be a part of no foolishness, so it must be good, right? And we are towards the end of the show. We're at the end. And I want you guys to go ahead. You can go to my website as well. I have his information there. You can go to the website. This very episode, you can click on his name, and that'll lead straight to the website as well. And his information is on the newsletter that I put out. If you subscribe to my website and if you follow me on LinkedIn. Oh yeah, here's all of my stuff. And there we go. So if you follow me, then you can get his information through my social media as well and through my website. Like I said, subscribe. Do you have any closing remarks?
Just whatever you're doing, just stay in your training. Like, just keep training. I think that's where the power is at, in your training, not in your ability. like not in well, not I'm sorry, not ability, but not just in your gift. Like most people don't activate their gift for real because they're just naturally good at something. But just stay training. That's where the power is at. That's where the anointing is at. And that's when you can allow God to put the soup on top of your natural. So just stay training, stay working.
All right. Y'all heard it from the great Richard Gallion right here on the show. All right, you guys. If you decide you want to comment and reach out afterwards, I'll make sure that he gets the information if you have any questions or comments. And until next time, remember to embrace God's perfect design, which is you. And we will be back here Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yes. I was trying to remember those dates. I'm like, am I? Yes. I'll be back here Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, you guys. Have a blessed night. See you soon.
Thank you so much, H. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, and thank you for joining us.
All right.
Good night, everyone.